Hello and welcome back. We're continuing our tutorial SQL Python sort of combo thing. And last time around, we were getting into some of the complicated parts, basically, of the data. And this episode, we're going to continue through that. We're basically getting into our, let me see where I'm at here. We're getting into the point we're actually walking through and copying in some of our data, moving it based on relational issues. And we hit a bug. And so that was where we were last at. So if we look at, let's see, dbsync 518. So in here, what it's doing is it's coming through and saying that, hey, we've got something that's not quite right in how I did this. And let's see, so what are we going to do? So we have this local variable insert base before assignment. So we are referring to it. And the base is, let's see, blah, 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 blah. I don't think we need values. Oh, this is where, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in, we're going to load the data for the table. But then what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to actually execute that, which we get. So that's what we got, is we got our destination rows. And let's do this real quick. We're going to do a quit, and we're just going to do a print. Whoop. Destination rows. Whoop. That's not what I want. I want to save it. I'm going to run it. And then it's going to come through. Oh, so there aren't any. So let's look at smart load SQL and see if we built that right. And if I type that right. So if we look at our SQL, so let's see, what did we break here? Select star from giginator.member, where member ID ends, select distinct member from giginator.performer. Interesting. So here, oh, let's do that in, where was that from? That was from the source. So let's go somewhere down here. Connect and execute. There we go. So he works fine. But for here, he's not. He works fine too. So why? Let's see. He's going to, from the source, which is right, he's going to execute. I wonder why he's given me a null. Oh, I know why. Let's see. I want to do a fetch all. So it's actually, let's do it this way. Whoops. Let's do it this way. We'll copy here. Sorry. So I come in here. That's going to be destination rows. And I think I can do it like that. So now if we print it, there we go. So here's all our rows. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to go through, we're going to create that base, which we didn't before. So let's go see if we can steal that code. And that's here. So we got to do that first. That's not the one I just did. Jump down to, here we go. So here's the one I just did. So I'm going to create that, but here, okay, so here I'm going to do first row equals blah, blah, blah. don't know that I need that or not. Let's see. So what I really want to do is for item in. So I need to figure out the results, which is going to be interesting because I got to go figure that out first. So wait, let's go back to here. We're going to have to do this a little differently because what we did, here we go, so describe. And if we do all of that, it's going to look something like that probably. So actually, let's see. And then we're going to do that whole thing. Well, let's see. It's here. And here's our insert base. Let's get the whole piece here, which I think is that. Let's see if that works. Let's see, what do we got here? Okay, load table for the, here we go. So destination rows, which we're not using right now. We did our description, we get our description results. We create out our base. We don't need this, so that's our data query. And insert into that. Why did we do that before? That's an interesting one. I don't think we need that because now we're going to go through destination rows, gives us all of our rows. And then we're going to go through for each of those. Let's see in the description results. That's that. Now we do our values. Okay. Which is going to be up here. I could actually walk through all of this, but this seems a little... Here we go. So he does that data query, select blank from blank, description limit, blah, 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 blah. That's the data query, so he does source rows. Okay. Where it's actually going to be destination rows this time. So it's this one. So for each one of these, so we're going to come through, and we're going to do select blah, blah, blah. Now he did it a little differently last time. So let's see. So each one we're going to do that. Yeah, and then we're going to do our values. And then this is going to be in destination rows. And then I'm going to come through. I don't need source rows anymore because I use that destination rows. I guess I don't need first row. Why do I use first row? Good question. Insert base. If first. Don't think I need that. So I probably don't even need first row. And that's just to do the comma. Okay. And then I'm going to come through and then I'm going to do an execute. So instead, I want to do that. I'm going to print my insert statement. And I'm going to see what this looks like. And let's see, I should have about 10 different little insert statements. So I'm going to, so let's look at these, and let's take a couple of these and just sort of see if those look right. Because if we come in here, so it's going to say insert into performer, which is performer ID, blah, 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 which is each of these values. Oh, it's taking, oh, this is a different, oh, interesting. So maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Insert into table. So this is going to be select referenced. So my table name is here. So that's where I found each of those. So that's the table, but I actually need to, okay. So contract has certain ones. And then, for example, he has some performer stuff, which is, let's go ahead and print that out just because, just to make sure we got the right one. Because I think I'm looking at two different records. Let's see, here we go. So here we go. Okay, so the reference table is member, and it's referenced by performer. And so, oh, okay, so I'm describing from the wrong table. So what I need to do here, when I do the describe, where did I do that? Describe. Describe is not table now. It's actually, I don't know why it's popping that up. It's actually going to be source row. This needs to be the reference table name, so it'd probably be 1. Let's see what that looks like. And let's see if this looks a little different. So if I take those two, so that's the one. Okay, so if I take that, that's my, I should be dealing with member is inserting performers, which should be that performer, which, because it's not getting the, which I probably need that. So I probably need this guy. I need to do it like this. There we go. So now, if I do it, it's going to look a little different. And, well, it's the same description, but now I need to go to insert into member. See, yeah, I used the table name wrong again. So now, yeah, member ID. Okay, so now if I try that, let's see. So I want to do that locally, just because. So if I go to my local database, just saw it. There we go. So if I go to local, where did I just put that? That's performer. That's not what I want. Member. Here we go. So if I do that, so it's going to give me a duplicate entry because I already have that record in there. So I am now able to go through and actually create these records. Now, the problem I've got is that I have not deleted all of the records at this point. in the destination. So what I'm going to need to do, which becomes its own little challenge, because what we can do is we can say, let's only add records. So what we could do is we could just basically say, hey, if it doesn't exist, then we'll just skip it. I think we can do like an insert ignore. I think it's that simple. Yep. And so it's going to tell me it's success, even though it's going to give me that little warning. So I could do that. I could do it that simply. We're here. I could just say, okay, if it already exists, cool. We're going to add it in which case, let's see. Let's do this. Let's do our execute, and let's see what this does. And, oh, so it is giving me that. So let's see. Am I in the right place? So wait, let's do that. So maybe it doesn't like that. It may not do it in this, whoops, insert statement. It maybe this driver is not going to give us that. Let's see. I bet that's it. So if I take this and run it, yeah, so here, but now it's going to give me that. It gives me an error here. So I can't just get away from, can't do it as simple as insert ignore. But what I really wanted to do anyways is get rid of that data beforehand. So we can either go back to our truncation of tables, which I think I just dropped that out of what it was doing. If I go to main, quit, smart empty sync, compare. Yeah, so one of the things I'm not doing is I'm not actually going in. I think I already dropped that out of here. So I can go in and I can actually clean up the data, delete it, and then reinsert it. Or we can look at ways to add it. And so I think what we're going to do first is we're going to go back to our removing of data, which will be, if I go to smart empty sync, I think it's as simple as, let's see, select reference table, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I have somewhere here, I want to do, not referential load, I want to do, nope, load table data, I think calls, somewhere. Is it sync rows? No. Drop data. There we go. So drop data. I don't really need that guy, which means I don't need. Whoop. Did I not clean that up? I didn't clean that up. So I need to take cursor destination, close. So drop data here is going to just like crank through this stuff, except for it probably needs, oh, I think because I set that up front. Yeah, I've got my databases set up, so I should be able to, yeah. So see, I have this D and feature flag. So if I don't have it, then I'm not going to drop it. And so I need to actually do I have sync rows somewhere? Yeah, here we go. So now I'm going to go back and actually fix a few things. So I start with the missing tables. I deal with the feature flags. Oh, I'm sorry, with the missing columns. So what I can do is then come into here, rows. And that's where we're going to start next time. We're going to run this sucker through. We're going to see how it looks. And we will carry on. Actually, the next thing we'll probably look at is the ability to only bring in additional records. So we're going to have to do a little bit of extra check. It'll take a little longer, but we're going to basically do the same insert, except for now we're going to check beforehand. We're going to find a way to be able to avoid that error and just say, hey, if it's not there, then we don't have to worry about it. which is going to allow us at some point to do some things like potentially working off timestamps and some things like that. So still got some other ways we're going to play around with data, but I think that'll wrap it up for this one. We're getting there. We're starting to see that we are building this stuff out. We can execute it. We can cleanly add some rows in, and we'll start playing around with that. That being said, go out there and have yourself a great day, a great week, and we will talk to you next time.